Hello, Aldwyn Altuney here. We are with Heidi Conway today, the amazing Changemaker Mum. And Heidi comes to us from Brisbane, and she's a finalist in 2 of the 2020 AusMumpreneur Awards, which is very exciting. She's actually made the finals of the Big Idea and Making a Difference in Education categories. Congratulations, Heidi, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aldwyn. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Fantastic to have you here, and I'm fascinated by the work you do. I think it's so important with what you do, helping mums find their genius and creating powerful homeschool environments, particularly now during COVID. A lot of people are homeschooling now, and also your 10 Keys of Global Change as well. I can't wait to hear what they are today and share that with our people. So before we do that, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to be a Changemaker mum?
Oh, wow. How long have we got again?
We've got an hour. Plenty of time.
No, it'll be good. I'll, in a nutshell, I guess what's relevant is that I did go right to grade 12 and go to university and followed that traditional path and knew no different, and became a part of the corporate world in a national role. Then we have children and thought we better do the right thing, and we put them into a private school as well. And so I have 2 boys. And when my son, my 11-year-old, was in he was 11, in grade 6, he was seen as not being able to write. So as parents, we were told that he's not writing in class. And my 8-year-old, then in grade 3, was told that he's not focusing. Daily, he was told, "You're not focusing, focus, Josh, focus." And we were told he's not focusing. I tried all the oils and the remedies underneath the feet and before you put the socks on to try to get him to focus, did everything. And then once I was told that Matthew in grade 6 wasn't writing, that the truth of that was that he was writing. He just chose not to write at school in the way they wanted him to write. So he was dictating to his teachers to write essays and things like that. So my husband and I decided to bring them home and homeschool them for a period of time. I wanted that his confidence get up, we work on writing, and then he goes back grade 7, and my one in grade 3, Josh, that he went back in 4th term, grade 3, because he thought he'd miss his friends. So we made that deal. And within 2 weeks, we loved it. So probably the other important thing I need to say about my background, Aldwyn, is that in 2001, so before children, I also introduced coaching skills. I became a qualified life coach and used that in my role in the corporate world, as well as I did one-on-one coaching, and I became a trainer in the coaching world. I became a director of a coaching academy in Victoria. So there was that part of it as well. So that brings me to the part of my story that the boys have come home. So how much more do you want to know from there?
Since they've come home, how has it been homeschooling? How have you made that adjustment? And what are some tips that you'd recommend for people who are homeschooling? What were some of the challenges you overcame?
Well, the first challenge that I had was to email the school to say that we're not coming back. And yes, it was a kind of challenge, but not really, because within 2 weeks, my boys and I thought, this is what we want to do. There's a lot more freedom. We can do what we want to do. And I sat them down on I asked them to sit down on these big crash mats that we had. And I said, if you were on the planet for a reason, what is it? And both boys at age 11 and 8 told me why they think they're here. And I said, okay, how about we go down that path? We look at things that you need for those roles, and with our eyes and our minds and our hearts totally open, and see where that takes us. And so that's the journey we went on. I went through, because I mentioned that I've gone right through to uni and got a science degree, and I think that was the way it was meant to be. I went through a lot of what we call deschooling, and that was the challenge where I'm thinking, hang on, there was so much tradition in the school we chose to go to, and uniforms and...
Oh, we've lost Heidi. Hopefully she'll come back in a second. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll just wait another minute or so, see if she can get back on. A few tech issues. There she is. She's back on again.
No, I'm here.
Yay! We just lost you for a second. All good.
That's a dirty word then, is it? Challenge. Because you know what? Everything happens. We've said before, Aldwyn, that everything happens for a reason. And even that little blip there, and there may be more with whatever internet chooses to do today.
Yes.
But maybe it was the word challenge. And that's what I have learned. And a big part of Changemaker Mums is that if we're challenged, there's hurdles. It may just mean that we're out of alignment and we're not following our true path, and using our talents and using our genius appropriately. So, you know, maybe that just happened to actually get me to the point of what learning, my kids learning, and me then earning an income, because that was, you know, could have been a challenge. But we've decided, you know, it's all about mindset on how you look at things. And, you know, that whole cup half full or half empty. It wasn't a challenge in that I had my own vision and my own, you know, being a life coach as well, and deciding to leave the corporate world and just embracing my challenge and my purpose and my passion that I love to do, and that's coaching. There's nothing better than when I'm in the zone of helping somebody close the gap between where they are and where they choose to be. So I had as one of my goals that in life that I want to be an inspiration to my children. And I asked Matt, my oldest, a couple of years ago now, 2 years, we were in the house that we're living now. So we just moved in there. And I said, Matt, for me to be an inspiration to you, what do you need to see, feel, or hear? And he said, that's easy, Mum. All I want to see, and all I want to, to answer your question, is for you to do what you say that you always want to do and that you're good at and that you do, but not as much as you want to. You know, you want global impact. You say that, and, you know, and this is a young musician saying that wants to be on international stages, already starting to feel that maybe he can't do this. Maybe his dream he can't do because Mum's, 50 now and hasn't done it to the degree that she wants to do this and says. And so that has taken me, although I'd left the corporate world and I was doing more coaching, it really has, he inspired me by answering my own question to get on with it and really be the change that I want to see in my boys. And that's them living their passion and knowing they can and believing in themselves and learning and growing. And so, Heidi, don't stop. It's not just about being a mum and bringing your kids up. You can earn an income from your passion as well, which you've helped, thousands of women do. Now it's your turn. So be the change.
And one thing we do so much as women is we give so much, don't we? We give so much to others, and it's so important that we fill up our own cup so that we can help others with the overflow, right? So learning to actually receive, learning to, I guess, step into, your passion and your purpose and what it is that you want to do, and, be a great example for your kids, because they learn so much more from what you do rather than just what you say, right?
Right.
Yeah. And that's huge. So how was that transition for you where you thought, right, it's time for me to focus on me a bit more now? How was that for you?
Well, then, so knowing what knowing what I wanted to do. I know because I did the edupreneur training, the educator training in Bali last year. I found out about, I had heard of it in 2017, but I followed through with some more training in 2019, and to really work from my genius. And how that works is, once you know your genius, you know what you want to do, and then you choose when. And so my when was then like now, and global impact, as soon as we can, because there are issues that I saw as an entrepreneur and edupreneur, which needs some direction and influence, which my coaching ability and speaking ability could influence, and felt that was on my heart. So I have gone down that path. So now the what, and I do this like from the top here is the what, and then we go to the when. Then my next question became with whom and how. My genius, I have found out that I work better with a team, which is why in the corporate world I had a team. I had an assistant, I had representatives for different departments, because I was in the area of environmental and safety management, that were part of my team. So I put the systems in place, and I had a team to roll it out. And so I can't do this alone. I can be the change, but I cannot make the changes to the planet in the realms of education, which influences the other E's of our environment, and also our economics of the future. Depends on how we bring up our children today, influences the economic climate of the future, as well as the environmental climate. So found my team now, and evolving. And the how is through Changemaker Mums. All mums can join together through assisting their kids learning in the way they want to learn, and close the gap between where they are and whatever their passions are in life.
And you've got some amazing children, I must say. I've met them. They're wonderful boys, and so you've obviously done a good job there. So what would you suggest, particularly for people who have teenagers? We know teenagers can be a very challenging time. I know I gave my parents hell when I was a teenager. Thankfully I've done a lot of work on myself since then, and we've resolved issues from back then, but I was completely off the rails as a teenager. So what would you suggest for people who are maybe having some challenges with their teenage children?
I like working with individuals and their cases, but there are so many things in teenagers that are similar. And I like how you said that you went off the rails, because I guess I just said to Josh before, because we've actually came to he's Mr. 13 at the moment. He was actually doing our, I'll answer first. That's another story. I'll come back. Some tips is, no matter if they're so-called on the rails or off the rails, to listen and notice. So that's one of the keys. It's let me just see which number, because I use them in my coaching.
Okay, the 10 keys of global change. 10 keys. Well, maybe while we're on this point, maybe the 10 keys of global change will help with this situation. If anyone's got
it will. See, that's teenagers. How I coach. These are so innate in me, though. So to answer your question would be listen to what you're listening to, mums and dads, and notice what you're noticing. Now, my coach told me that when I started learning to become a coach, so my coach and mentor, back in 2001, and it really has become part of the 10 keys to global change. So listen to what you're listening to, notice what you're noticing, and that's within you and what's happening with the kids. So, almost that's interesting. Aldwyn's off the rails. What's happening? What's going on for her? What's going on for her? How can we guide her to maybe what the family values are, or find out what's where's she heading, because maybe we can meet halfway or help direct her back, or maybe she's struggling with something, therefore her behavior's like that. But it's not controlling, it's guiding and supporting and respecting and loving. Unconditional love. So no condition makes me feel better about Aldwyn or my teen. So an A on a report doesn't make me feel any better than, you know, a D on the report, for example, or not even submitting something, or you know, avoiding doing their work, or it's not conditional to that. So another genius mum told me when Matt was, he was in kindy, and he's ASD, so he's on the spectrum, autism spectrum. Well, I don't know these days. Now he's actually out of private school, like he's out of school. I don't even know if he would be diagnosed anymore, which is interesting because of how far he's come. But at that particular time, another wise mum told me, she said, what his behavior, whatever he's doing with the tantrum, even if he was kicking the back of the chair, you know, in the car, if he was kicking the driver's seat and having a moment, she said, he is not doing that to you. He's not doing it. He doesn't think, I'm going to hurt mum right now. He's not doing it to me. He's just not coping with something. And that's the same at a kindy age or later. When kids act out, they're not coping with something. Like when your body's got, you know, heart palpitations, or you're you know, anxious, even headaches sometimes, or stomach aches that the kids have with anxiety or depressed or so. They're not, that's just a symptom of, mum, dad, I'm actually not coping right now. But they can't articulate that, and then maybe they're not invited to articulate that in a way they don't feel judged. And that's not the parent's fault. That's the system actually at the moment.
Amazing. That's very wise words there. And so these 10 keys, let's have a look at some of the other ones we've got there. Would you like to read it maybe from the top?
Well, yeah, that one I was on was key number 3, and it was about feeling good. So always feel good. So so more on that is listen and notice and listen in line with your values, and co-create. So with those around you. So make feeling good a priority. So, you know, just another one on that, because Matthew now has found his passion, and he's moved from homeschooling to a music industry college where there's only about 90 kids. And I've received an email today that he's working in a team with another girl, and his drama assignment is incomplete. He's handed in the draft, and he's got an option out, and it's incomplete. And so I gave him a call about something else, and I brought that up as well. And I said, you know, what's going on? This was only this morning, or at lunchtime. I gave him a call, and he said, yeah, the teacher mentioned that in the class yesterday. It's all in order. We've got it, and the final next week. It's due next Thursday. It'll be in. So this is Mr. 16, if I haven't mentioned that before. So now I'm talking to him. I want feeling good to be a priority for him, and feeling good to be a priority for me. And I said, okay, well, I'm not sure how to respond to this email. So the way the school works is sends the teen an email, and the parents are CC'd, so that the teenager can take responsibility for it. We just are aware of it. Right. So I've just basically approached it. What help do you need? Do you need to go to your team member's place on the weekend, or what? And he said, no, it's all under control, Mum. It's all good. And I said, well, I don't know how to respond to this, because I do feel that I want to respect the teacher too, and think that she doesn't know that it's under control. So he said, okay, Mum, I'll go. He understood that I was still unclear on what I need to respond to the teacher, because basically what do I need to respond to, going, you know, Mrs. Teacher, there is actually no issue here. He's under, you know, because want to respect and help her feel good too. So he said, I'll speak to her. And I said, just let her know that, you know, mum isn't clear. Is there anything else, you know, because this is where I think it's at. See, Matthew doesn't think it's an issue because he's got it right. But meanwhile, there's a teacher and a mother confused. Right. Whereas I could have ripped into him. What's this email all about? How come you haven't done your work? You know. But that wasn't the goal. So feeling good is the priority. Key number 3. Key number 1. And I will say how I got these keys, and there's nothing really totally new with them, is and I think Aldwyn, we have spoken before that I coached somebody a few years ago that actually had cancer, and he wanted me to coach him, and it was throat cancer, and he was a radio announcer. So it was pretty important that we, you know, he deals with it, or for any cancer, anyone. And so I said, now I am a qualified coach, and that's why he came to me. And I said, but I can only coach you on one condition. So there was a conditional there. And he goes, what's that? And I said, that you are well. So your body's doing something right now, but you are well. And I'd also I have been told many times, because I had my own, I left, I was director of the Life Coaching Academy, and then I moved into having my own coaching school, and now since moved into Changemaker Mum with more impact. And I said, can I record my end of the conversation? Because I actually don't know what I do and what's different about other coaches, because I'd been told before that what other coaches can do in 4 sessions, I do in 1. And I said, I don't know what I do. So are you okay if I just record my end? And he did. So, and on re-listening to those, it was very clear that the way I asked questions, it was still in line with the model and everything that I had been trained as a professional coach. And yet the questions came with a different essence. And they were intuitive. I believe I'm sort of in that zone when I'm coaching, and hopefully now that people will resonate with what I'm saying. So the key number 1 was love and allow. So this is where the 10 keys came from coaching that person. So and incidentally, he's cancer free now, and he's gone on to help other people through their chemo and as a speaker. So
wonderful. Fantastic. It's a great story.
So love and allow. Express the love in the good times and the moments of pain as well. So when a child's off the rails, so like you said that you might have been, or there's, you know, done something to challenge the values of the family, even through those moments of pain, love. And some parents, and including myself, we're human sometimes, we have that intention and we say, yes, I love my child. But then when you reflect back on it, that maybe we didn't, just maybe we didn't help that child feel good and follow through with love and allowing of what's happening and listening. And so that's where the keys all come together. So whatever's, and we did it before, what was happening with the technology before we started today. And
yes.
Yeah, we just love each other through it. Neither of us got upset. It was just allowing what happened, and amazing it's turned out with our appointments after this. And maybe the people that needed to hear this were available now, or,
Yes, I think everything's in divine order, and just, going with the flow of how things go, because sometimes, unexpected curveballs, things will happen, technological challenges, so many people in the online world now. You need to be patient through this process, patient with yourself, patient with others, patient with the technology. Otherwise you'll just do your head in, right? You'll just go crazy, or you'll stop altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. And like if we say that everything is meant to be, and we usually hear that in the good times, why in the so-called challenging times and the pain, and I respect people are going through some pain perhaps, to love during those times as well, to love if something's going on in one's body, if somebody's going on with some, child with their education struggles in America. You know, they're going through a lot of challenges right now from an education perspective, you know, on every working mums and homeschool page that I'm seeing with the Americans, or even, you know, growth mindset pages, that the mums particularly are challenged. I'm not saying that there aren't dads out there doing their homeschool bit and you know, and helping out a lot. And sometimes it's the dad that is the major carer and the major teacher. So when we say Changemaker Mums, that's just my niche, but totally respect the dads as well. So there is some pain and struggle or challenge, or however you want to label it. However, we can still go through that with ease if we focus on the moment and move through that and allow it, and say, well, if this is meant to be, and listen what needs to be done in that moment. Because worry doesn't, my dad's a very big worrier, and I grew up with, you know, be careful, look out. No wonder I went into the field of environment and safety management. And when I had children and handed over the child there to be looked after at my parents' place, I said, please don't say be careful, look out. Please teach my children to just be aware. To be aware of themselves and be aware of the surrounding and other people. Just use the word, be aware. You know?
Beware. Heidi was just saying beware. It's funny, we were just talking about what can happen sometimes. Technological issues can happen. No doubt she'll be back on in just a minute. Heidi Conway, the Changemaker Mum, talking about her 10 keys to global change. Welcome back, Heidi.
Welcome back. I think it's good in a way that the voice goes and you summarize and just help everyone relax for a while.
Yes, just take a deep breath, everyone. Deep breath.
That's my
actually on that point.
Interview cup.
Breathing deeply. When you breathe through the nose. Breathe in with the nose and breathe. You should feel your belly going out when you're breathing properly, right? Because if you're breathing all through the mouth, you're going to end up with a very dry mouth, and you're going to be breathing shallow. So breathing is very important. Remember to keep breathing. If you're watching this, keep breathing. That's the whole trick to life. Just keep on breathing. Eventually, the breaths will stop at some point. However, in the meantime, until that time comes, make the most of every moment, I say.
That's perfect. Breathing in those moments where we want to allow, you know, we allow and let go, and it is, thank you. Breathing is very important with, you know, you do any sort of research on stress and how to control stress or what's happening in our lives. Breathing is key.
Absolutely. Breathing is key.
That's the 11th key.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just getting back to what you're saying about listening. Listening is such a crucial part of communication, and really with all relationships, whether it's with your children or anyone else, you know, listening. People need to be heard, and there's a real magic that can happen when you really get someone. You really get where they're at, and you be there for them. You know, it's a really wonderful thing, and quite a gift to be able to listen and to really just be with someone and connect, you know, like that. And I think a lot of kids, I know myself as a kid, I felt like I didn't belong. I didn't want to be here. I was bullied as a kid. You know, I was angry with the world. I just felt like a complete misfit, right? And now I know, being older and wiser, that it's the crazy ones that change the world, right? Now I know that, and I welcome the craziness, right? But for a long time, I felt invisible. I felt, and I was angry with what I was seeing in the world, the animal cruelty I was seeing, and, you know, watching the news every night with my dad. Used to watch the news religiously every night. It was just depressing. You know, I just grew up really depressed and angry with the world. And they say that hurt people too, and hurt people also hurt themselves when they're hurting, right? So I actually went through a lot of self-harm. You know, I got into drugs and alcohol and smoking a lot, and, you know, a lot of self-harm in those years. And thank goodness I came out the other end, and I hit a real turning point. and thought, I don't want my life to go this way. And I turned things around, thankfully. And, you know, that's the thing, the roller coaster ride of life, right? There's going to be times you're going to go down, you're going to come up, you're going to go round and round, you're going to go backwards sometimes. Sometimes you need to slow down to speed up as well. And so I just wanted to point on that listening is really, really crucial when it comes to communication, and having kids be heard. Having kids be heard, I think, is really important. We're chatting today with Heidi Conway, the Changemaker Mum, and she's been popping in and out of the broadcast like she's making a special appearance. Here she is back again, back with a special appearance today. Here's Heidi Conway. Yay! Welcome back. Welcome back, Heidi Conway. This is quite fun.
Was there a time, somebody in particular that allowed you to make that change when there was that self-harm and maybe you weren't feeling heard?
Well, there was actually there was a pivotal point that happened. I actually got kicked out of home at 15, and I moved into this crazy household in Sydney. It was in Manly with a drummer. His mum was an alcoholic. His sister was dealing drugs, and it was just a crazy party house. Every night we were partying. I went from failing everything I went from ducks of my primary school to failing everything in year 11 at Mossman High School. And the pivotal point happened when I saw my boyfriend sleep with my best friend in front of me. That was a turning point for me. So I saw that, and I already had issues about not trusting people, right? Can't trust men, you know, because of certain things happened when I was younger. And now I can't trust women either. Now, you know, and so I just felt I felt betrayed. I felt, and I was just so upset by that. And I thought, I don't want to live like this anymore. And I called my mum in tears, and I said, I can't handle this anymore. And she said, come home. She said, come home. And then in year 12, I changed schools. I changed my environment, which is also really crucial. I went from Mossman High School to Forest High School, brand new environment, worked my butt off, and I got into a media degree. Thanks for the love there, Julie. I'll put your love hearts up on the screen here. Julie Hogan, one of our other Mass Media Mastery members. Thank you for that. And, you know, there's times that we go through some low points, but the thing is, you know, just hang in there. And you know what? I'm so grateful for that now, because, you know, I thought the grass was greener on the other side, you know, when I was living at home. I grew up very strict European parents in Sydney, first generation Australian, and I didn't appreciate what I had at home at all. You know, and then I went to the other side, and, you know, I was doing 2 part-time jobs as well for a measly wage just to pay the rent when I moved out as well, missing half my classes, and went back home, turned things around. And now I have the most extraordinary relationship with my parents. My dad's 82, mum's 76. They live in Bribie Island. They celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary this year. And I am just so grateful for them. And, you know, I think back to those times, those hard times back then when I went through those teenage years, and going through that, I feel now even more grateful for my parents. And sometimes I think we need to go through struggles. It's like like the caterpillar going through the cocoon to become a butterfly. It's got to go through its own journey. Caterpillars have to be able to go through the cocoon and actually break through themselves so that they get enough blood in their wings so that they can fly and become a butterfly. So that's a little bit about what happened with me as a teenager. But thank goodness there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you choose to stay on that roller coaster and look for the gifts in everything, look for the gifts, because I don't think we're presented with any challenges we can't handle, right? It's all about how you're going to be about the challenges that are happening in the world. So back to
that was very brave of your parents, and they may not even realize that they did hold the space for you. And sometimes, no matter, you know, if you don't know how to listen or to ask the right questions, or if you just totally had in your head that, you know, I'm doing the wrong thing and I'm going to be judged here, and just scared, so that no matter what your parents might have said, you might not have even heard them. So it's perfect how you did need to go through and see that for yourself, and that's worth more than all.
Yes, it's worth more. That's right, Heidi. Isn't this interesting, this technology? It's quite bizarre. I must say I haven't quite done an interview like this. But yeah, I mean, my parents did hold the space, and I am so grateful for them. Grateful.
That's worth more than all that qualifications you could have got at school during that time, you know, all that learning you could have got.
Yeah,
there.
well,
you had life learning. So
I got the street smarts.
you did. You did.
Yeah.
And not that I recommend those street smarts to everyone that way, but we will go through our learning. And that's part of what we do with the learning and earning with ease, to actually let go of all judgment and let be.
Beautiful. So back to your 10 keys. I can't wait to hear the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know if we won't have time to go through all 10, that's for sure. So,
okay, well, maybe we can give some of the 10 keys, and maybe people can connect with you outside of here.
Do our best. So we've done number 1 and 3. So let's do 2. Key number 2 is the success equation. So success equation is that we have a clear vision for our life, take intelligent action, and have support. So this is a big part of what I do. So once we know that everything is love, key number 2, to actually find your genius and have a clear vision for the life that you choose, that you want to live. So I think you say it as well, and absolutely agree 100%, that we are so lucky, grateful, appreciative that we've actually even ended up alive. We were born. The things that have to happen, even generations ago, who had to meet who had to meet in order for us to come and be living and alive today. So that's really important then, to have our life as something precious and have a clear vision on how we want to live it. And a lot of people know what they don't want, but they're not really clear on what they do want.
Yes.
And so key number 2 of success, and another one of my mentors once said to me, is that there's nothing sadder than going to bed at night unfulfilled. I was once, in 2004, I was a head coach in a financial education company, and back-to-back coaching. One would leave, another one would come in. That was all face-to-face coaching then. And it was back-to-back. And yet I was going to bed at night. Their lives were changing, and I was still feeling unfulfilled. And so, because I needed to do something more with that. And my boy had just been born that year, and you know, there was some other impact I wanted to make for future generations as well. So the success equation: clear vision,
love it,
plus intelligent action. And what I mean by intelligent action is that I'm a holistic life coach. So the action is not just doing. It is intelligent in that it may be doing, it may be physical. The action may be changing your mindset. So it may be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or financial. So in order to be in alignment with our vision, to be clear on, the simple thing is that if you want to lose weight, you might go to a gym, but you might look in the mirror and say, I'm fat. Well, that's not aligned. So that's what I'm saying, to have a clear vision and then line your actions with your mindset, with your belief and what you believe in, and go from there. And financial, in order to create, so what we talk about, the vision that our teams have, that we help them financially as well, and have the resources available to help them with their vision. So that's intelligent action, and support, to have that team around you.
Beautiful. And to know where you're going, you need to know where you are as well, right? So getting a reality check. Where are you now? Where do you want to be?
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Love that one too. What else have you got on those 10 keys there?
Okay, key number 1, 2, and 3 we have done, and I can talk for a day on each of them. So this is just a snapshot. Absolutely, just a snapshot. So key number 4, attract brilliant relationships. Sorry, I just need to.
Love it. Attract brilliant relationships. Love it. Yes. Very important.
Attract. So nothing. So no one's. Yeah. So you attract brilliant relationships. And how do we do that? Be the person that we actually want to attract in our life. So be the change again. So they say opposites attract. Well, I don't believe in that so much. It's your energy attracts a similar energy, and that doesn't mean you're the same and life would be boring, you know. It's definitely, if you want a kind person in your life, then be kind. You know, if you want respect from your children or a partner, well, be respectful, and not only to other people, but to yourself. And that's again, there was something on a Facebook feed yesterday as well about, you know, help me. My 10-year-old thinks that, there were two. That one, that nobody cares about me, and you know, no one's interested in what I do. And another one saying that my child will not respect me. How do I tell this child that they need to respect me?
I can tell a child they need to respect you. Heidi Conway, we're with today, Changemaker Mum, and Heidi has just been named a finalist in 2 of the 2020 AusMumpreneur Awards for the great work she does helping mothers and children overcome hurdles and challenges. And the 2 awards that she has made the final in are the Big Idea and Make a Difference. Make a Difference in Education categories. The 2 awards she was a finalist in. Giving some background there on you, Heidi.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
All good. We are back.
We are back.
Yeah.
So the child was saying how, the mother was saying, how do I get this child to respect me? And then, you know, we were saying the advice was then speak to your child like you respect them. And I would also ask the child, and this is where I'm using my coaching skills now, is to train mums, to teach mums in a coaching relationship as also part of the movement, the community, to ask appropriate questions and be that change. And so we say, well, do you care about you? You know, that whole child thing coming home, Johnny doesn't like me, mum, Johnny doesn't like me, Johnny doesn't like me. And it's like some parents would say, well, oh, why? Or don't worry about that. You know, Johnny's what's going on with Johnny? You know, no, it's like, do you like you, sweetheart? Because then it doesn't matter what Johnny thinks or anybody thinks. Do you like you?
Yes.
You know, so do you respect you? And that's the question I would ask that mother. Not only are you showing your child respect and leaning in and allowing them space and whatever to grow and learn, but indeed, are you giving yourself? Have you actually shown your child how to give respect to oneself and the sort of standard that you know, my friends sometimes, if a friend around me says, you know, something negative about them, I say, please don't talk to my friend like that, you know. So, that whole respect ourselves as mothers, as women, as wives, as, you know,
so important. A girlfriend of mine, Tracy Corman, she says to me, she says, Aldwyn, all that love you have for others is also there for you. All right?
Yes.
What you have for others is there for you. And, you know, we enter the world alone. We leave the world alone. So, you know, you're with yourself from the beginning to the end. So you may as well love yourself, because then you can also love others, right? People go to looking for relationships to find love, but you've got to love yourself first so you can bring that to the relationship.
Absolutely. So that's key number 4, attract brilliant relationships, like be like the people you would like to have around you.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Beautiful.
Key number 5 is focus on what you're for and not what you're against. So this helps with teens as well. So focus on the opportunity rather than the threat, and be solution driven. So what that, going back to the key part of the key is focus on what you're for and not what you're against, which is partly why I'm homeschooling as well, because what I was for was for my boys to live their passion and to be able to do that. So rather than being against what they're not allowed to do at school, and including, we were with a distant ed school, and Joshua was doing really limited curriculum from this distant ed school. And we've very recently made the decision to even move away from the distant ed school and unschool, because we're focusing on what we're for. And so we're not against what they're doing in different schools, or we don't focus on what we're against. We focus on what we stand for. And that's gives me so much more ease than fighting what I'm against. And so you put all our resources on what we stand for. So again, even if there's something going on in your body, you focus on health and well-being. Joshua was hit by a car just over 12 months ago, and I saw it and I heard it and went straight there and let him know that he was safe, because what I'm for is healing immediately. The healing begins as soon as he was hit. You know, as soon as something happens to us, there's a chance for healing. To, you know, when you cut yourself, the antibodies are right there. You know, they go immediately.
Yeah.
You know, everything starts happening straight away. Your body's got this. So I let him know that he is safe, and I believe in God too. So I said, God is there. God is here. And he goes, I know, Mum. You know, struggling on the ground. So he went to hospital overnight and was checked out and didn't need an operation, had bloods done and everything, but found it very difficult to walk for a week or so, and bruised. But recently, a dear friend that we did homeschool a while with in one of the co-ops was also hit by a car, and she has survived and doing amazing, but she wasn't so lucky and had some major operations. But what we immediately came together on, you know, messenger feed and, you know, the fundraising for her and everything was focus on what healing can occur right now. And again, I'm a believer and know God's hands can go where no human hands or surgeon can go and start that healing. And she has beaten every odd, you know, all the odds that the doctors thought. And so it's that whole, doesn't that go with the other key of wanting to feel good? Instead of being at angst going, this might happen to, or this might happen, just stay in the moment. And, you know, just stay in that moment and deal with each step by each step. And because in the now we're fine. And so focus on what we're for, and we're you know, that whole thing, don't forget your shopping bags. Well, what are they really for? Remember your shopping bags. Why do they say don't forget, you know?
Yes.
So focus on what we're for. You know, don't smoke. Be healthy. I don't want to smoke anymore. So what you're saying is that you want to be healthy. You want to have a sense of wellness and well-being. You know, so focus on that. And it's amazing what sort of insights we'll get, or what sorts of people we will meet in line with wellness, in line with, you know, oh, there's somebody, you know, I've walked up before and I'm going, oh, shopping bags. I didn't remember, you know, my shopping bags. And somebody said, do you want a shopping bag? They're right beside me. They had 4. So you can just take that one. You know, so it's amazing when you focus on what you're for and not what you're against, what miracles can actually happen in our lives.
Yes.
So this is real. This is, you know, this happens in our life. You've got experience of this. I'd say everybody, if we're honest, and this is what I say, if we're all honest with, dare I say, with what's happening with COVID at the moment, and though it's been painful for some people, if you're honest with, I'd like to take, I haven't done this, but I'd like to take a room full of 10 people who have lost jobs and say, in your quiet moments, did you not like something in that workplace about what you did, about your boss, did you secretly wish you were doing something else? Did you want to do something else and not what you're doing right now? Or in a different way? Because even if it is your passion and you've lost that, then there was a different way. You like to be honest. You must, you know, and that's in line with being responsible and not being the victim, that we've created the whole of our reality, including what's happening globally at the moment. And again, that's my belief. I know I'm not the only one. And maybe if people haven't considered it before, it's if it makes you feel better, you know, that maybe this is all meant to be. Maybe where do I have the power to be the change and change things right now? And that's really what homeschooling and being the change and helping mums with communication and the 10 keys is all about. And it's radical. It's radical. Some people say what I'm talking about is radical. You know, even what you know, when the issues in schools, even shootings within schools. I take, even if it's happened in America, I take responsibility for that here, and not in a dramatic way going, oh, I caused this, and, people saying, well, I've got nothing to do with shooting this guy walking in there. But if we were all kinder to each other, and then somebody knows somebody in America who knows that person, you see how a virus spreads. And so we want the global, appreciation, the global challenge that you're doing right now.
Global Good News Challenge, kindness, compassion,
yes.
love, more love.
Imagine. Then that person
yes.
would have felt heard and listened to, and no desire to pick up a gun and walk into a school. So, the gap's pretty big, but if we all did something and we all communicated to ourselves differently and each other differently, even in times of so-called pain, and that's I say hello and smile at people in the street when everything's going well, because if somebody was bleeding in the street or somebody needed help in the street, I would go to them and I would help them. So why not in good times as well?
Yes.
Why not?
Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned steps. It's funny, I was actually thinking about steps today. Would you believe, Heidi? I was actually at the gym this morning on the stepper. I was on the stepper, and as I was stepping on each step, I thought, this is like life. It kind of feels like, like I feel like in my life and in my business, there's this never-ending list of to-dos, right? There's always stuff you can do, right? And the more you step up in life and the more you get in flow, the more people want you. They want a piece of you, and it's just like you become, in demand, and you've got all these things to manage. And I just thought, it's just one step at a time, just one step at a time. It's just one thing at a time, and it's just how you look at things. And 5 minutes on the stepper, it was like a meditation. It was like one step at a time. You got this, it's like, you got this, you can do this, whenever you're in overwhelm or any of that, just brain dump it all down, and just go one at a time, one thing at a time.
Aldwyn, that pleases me so much to know that you are actually taking and allowing that time for yourself, because I know you are so busy at the moment, and I was concerned that you weren't having time for your gym or your beach walks anymore. So that makes me feel so good that you have still allowed that, because then we get the fullness of you, because you've taken care of yourself. So thank you.
Yes. And I had half an hour in the sauna this morning too, which I loved. And then I had a beautiful hot shower. I was so grateful for my time at the gym this morning. It was wonderful. So yes, I do every few days. I go for at least a 1 hour walk, or I'll do some kind of exercise, and I do meditation regularly as well, as ways to fill up my cup. I eat healthy food. I consistently get into gratitude, and that's part of the Global Good News Challenge. No matter what's going on, there's always some things we can be grateful for in any situation, even when it feels like it's a hard thing you're going through, or there's challenges or whatever. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a reason. They say that we're not presented with any challenges that we cannot handle. So, what's the gift? What's the gift in what you're being presented with right now? Yeah, and I think this is really important for mothers for mums who give so much to their children and so much to others, to learn to fill up your own cup, coming back to that, so that you can be even more powerful and create a even better homeschooling environment for your children, and be a great example for them by doing things that are going to light you up, right?
Yeah. And with all our busyness, there's nothing really too serious going on, like I went to a yoga class. This one was a few years ago, but I've always remembered that at the end, the teacher got us to put our arms around us and just go, shh, 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 just like we would our babes.
Oh, I love that. Cuddle ourselves.
And just shush ourselves. Shush, shush, shush. It's okay. Nothing too serious going on here. It's all good. We can do what we want to do. We can, and it was you that, I was fluffing around doing Changemaker Mum stuff, and you allowed me to step into her. Your talk about steps before, just step into who we are fully. It's good. Thank you.
Yes, you are extraordinary. You are extraordinary, Miss Heidi Conway. We've gone through 5 of the steps. I'm sure people are hanging to hear the others. No doubt you'll be sharing in other programs and things you're doing online as well. You'll be sharing your keys as well. So it's important that people follow you. Go and check out Heidi Conway. If you haven't Googled her yet, make sure you Google her. She's on which social media platforms are you on, Heidi?
Facebook is the main one. I'm updating. LinkedIn's got an older platform, plus I'm getting a new one up there at the moment, because I'm one to just keep on doing and helping people and not actually setting all that up. So that's been set up, but the main place is Changemaker Mums on Facebook, and we'll be starting and growing more and more a private group, etc., because there's more and more demand for these mums and homeschooling in America too. It's all about earning and learning with ease is what I do, that you can still earn an income while your children are learning in the home environment, whether it's temporary from a COVID perspective or a more permanent. So we started, we're in our 6th year now, and I know there's lots and lots of geniuses and brilliant mums homeschooling that have got a lot more time and experience in that respect. So I also know if you've got a question, I know another mum that may be able to help you out as well. We've got a great network. So with regard to, well, what do I teach my child and curriculum and all of that. So I'm more about helping the mums and helping you live your passion, to be the example for your child to live their passion and have the freedom to do that.
Wonderful.
And that way we'll all flourish. The whole community will flourish.
Yeah, and building your dream team. You mentioned network there. Network is a really powerful word there. In fact, network equals net worth as well. And genius, stepping into your genius, we talked about flow, right? What's your zone of genius? So for those who might not know what their genius is, so the trick is to find people in their genius to align with and have your dream team. So for those who might be wondering, what is their genius? What would you say to them?
Oh, their genius, we can determine, one, I would listen to them and what they love to do, and we can show, we've got an exercise for finding your passion, but we've also got the talent dynamics for young people. So we can find out your genius of your teenager, as well as, and I've got some good news there that we can share at the end about that, as well as the Wealth Dynamics Genius Test. If you can contact us, and we can take you through a genius test as well to actually articulate. So there are energies. So I'm a dynamo blaze, and then there are the profiles that go with that. So I'll share that I'm a star profile, and that doesn't mean that it's all about me and I'm twinkling and shining and that's the star. What the star's all about is shining the light on other people, and that's what I do with other Changemaker mums. Find out what you're doing with others, and shine the light on them and help them shine as well. So I'm a good cheerleader for you as well. So with regard to finding your genius for your teens, if we have a genius camp coming up in September, and we've just discovered yesterday, so this is hot off the press, you don't even know this, Aldwyn, we've received funding for that genius camp, and
wow.
so it's totally free, valued at $450 for a teenager to go through what we call a genius camp, to find out their genius, to find out how they can work better as a team. They'll work on a global UN goal as well. So it's in the holidays as well, ages between 12 and 15 ideally. Totally free, and we've still got spots available, but I can put the link in the comments, or however this works. Aldwyn, we can put a link out somewhere, and they can click through, and it'll be signing on for like a scholarship, because so you still need to be chosen and answer the questions in the scholarship and see if you're entitled to that totally free funding. Normally it's discounted. Even when my kids went through, it was discounted. However, we've got enough funding now, so there's a gift for you.
Great. Congratulations. That's brilliant. That is so good. That's going to just shift teenagers' lives, that getting their genius
Yes.
Fantastic.
And on the last day, the last day of, so it'll be over 3 days. Normally face-to-face, it's 2 days, but virtually, it's a Genius Camp virtually. It'll be over 3 mornings, and the last morning we invite the parents in so that they see the demonstration of what the kids have done during the camp, and you'll get a rough idea on what your genius is. The kids will get theirs in more detail, but you'll get a rough idea, and so that will change the communication in your household as well. So that's great. And I'm one of the trainers. I'll be one of the genius coaches on that camp together with a team.
Fantastic. That is brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, we'll definitely put the links in the chat. This is streaming now to my personal profile, to the Aldwyn Altuney Media Queen page, and to Media Queen TV on YouTube. So wherever you're watching this, we'll make sure we get the comments under there so that you can get those links. Fantastic, Heidi. I'm so proud of you. It's so exciting. And wow, onwards and upwards. Very, very cool. The change you want to see in the world. The Changemaker Mum is where it's at. Be the change.
So
the Changemaker Mum.
Yeah.
If you want change, you want to change your life, come to the Changemaker Mum. So
the voting as well we put in there.
Yes, the voting. Actually, on that point, yes. Now we have a few days. If you want to vote for the amazing Heidi Conway with the AusMumpreneur Awards, we will make sure we put the link underneath. And they have until Sunday, is it, to vote?
Yeah, 30th, yes.
Until the 30th.
And if anyone finds me personally, or even on the Changemaker Mum site, and they tell me they voted, you go into a draw to win 4 coaching sessions, so we can work on your big idea. So that's valued at $600, 4 coaching sessions. So there will be a winner. And if you share it and ask your friends to vote as well for the big idea in helping mums to learn and earn, or earn and learn at home, then you get 2 entries into that draw.
Wow, that's brilliant. I love that. That's the power of JVing and networking. Absolutely love it. Joint venturing, if you're wondering what JV is. Fantastic. Well, I've already voted for you, Heidi, and you can only vote once. Yeah, I'm in the draw. Yay. I can win some coaching with you. Yay. And that's the thing, is that all coaches need coaches. And, you know, if you're up to big things in life, you want to hang out with people who are also up to big things in life. Your environment is really, really crucial. And whether you're a mother or father or whoever you are out there, or having I actually don't have any kids. I have a cat, and my cat totally rules the house. So I'm sure I could learn some of those 10 keys I could probably put to use with my cat.
You're the mother of us all in the media tribe.
Oh, thank you. Yes, true. I have all my babies, and in the my media legends, media masters in the making, in the Mass Media Mastery program. Yes, that's true. I'm very grateful for the amazing people that are in the program, and all the members supporting each other, the great alliances that are happening in the group, people standing for truth and good news and massive change in the world with what you're up to. It is so, so cool, and such a pleasure and an honor to be working with you and with the other members. I'm very, very grateful. And on that point of gratitude, what are you grateful for today, Heidi?
Oh, all the listeners, for sure. The listener you have here, and whatever awareness they receive. So grateful that you've tuned in. Grateful for definitely you, Aldwyn. And you know what I think I owe a gratitude to? Technology.
Yay, grateful for technology. Yay.
Technology. Yeah, thank you.
And everything has energy. Thank you, Heidi. And send love to your technology, right? Give it love. Give it love. Pat it, stroke it, give it energy, put some healing music. You know, it needs love as well, right? Everything's energy. So give it all your love. And, you know, sometimes technology gets temperamental too, and that's okay. It's okay, because I'm sure there's some little gremlins living in the technology too. Some of those little small people from like Land of the Giants. Remember that Land of the Giants series? The little small people. I think there's some small people living in the computers sometimes, doing their thing. You know, having a good laugh. Thank you so much, Heidi, for your time today. Is there anything finally you'd like to say, or how people can connect with you? We mentioned a few social media platforms.
Yeah, Changemaker Mums. I mean, my mobile is public anyway. So are you okay if I give my mobile number?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
For a good time,
So,
call Heidi. No, not for a good time. Don't call Heidi. No, you will get it. You will have a good time, absolutely, but it's not that kind of good time. No.
Not that sort of good time. I mean, as I said, it is public. Why I went quiet before. I'm going, really? I need to share my mobile number? Really?
Oh, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. Up to you.
I'll go with the flow. You're not telling me I need to. I just feel guided that
Okay.
whoever contacts me this way, step by step, I'll deal with it at that time, and it'll be interesting. So 0419 720 297. So it's Heidi Conway, the Changemaker Mum, 0419 720 297. So it seems kind of old-fashioned to call me on the phone, but yeah, Changemaker Mums, like that page, find out where you can vote there. All the links below will serve you and you and your young geniuses as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. And who knows who's watching this right now who might just think, I want to chat with Heidi. I want a coaching session with Heidi. I'm going to vote for Heidi in the AusMumpreneur Awards. So exciting. And congratulations for being a finalist in 2 awards. Let's just see how we go now with the final steps. So please do your bit. If you like what you've seen here today, which how can you not like what you've seen here today? So if you're watching, no doubt you like what you've seen. So we'd love your support to please go and vote for Heidi in the AusMumpreneur Awards. Keeping our fingers and toes crossed for you, Heidi, and wish you all the best with your 10 keys of global change too. And make sure you follow Heidi too, so that you learn more about that, because no doubt you'll be sharing more about that, right, Heidi?
Absolutely. Definitely on the side, and how to use them in your own life for sure.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Heidi. And thank you for joining us. And you can follow me as well on Mass Media Tribe. Come and connect with our community, Mass Media Tribe on Facebook and Meetup, and Media Queen TV on YouTube. If you haven't checked that out yet, I've got over 450 videos on there now. It's insane. Got a whole library of videos, amazing interviews with some phenomenal people, and other ones where I'm just shooting the breeze on whatever. And, sharing, right? Sharing is caring.
All living their passion, and it's doable. Yes. Yeah, it's doable. If you say, if there's anything I'd like to share as a last tip, for sure, if you have a passion, if you have a dream, and you have a dream for your children, it's doable. It's doable. Take a breath. It's doable, and let's connect.
I love it. It's doable. I love that. It reminds me of Marie Forleo saying, everything is figure-outable.
Yes, I love that. Everything is figure-outable.
Everything is figure-outable. Everything is doable. Everything is possible. Absolutely. And hopefully we've inspired you today.
With ease.
Ease. Absolutely. Learn with ease. That's what it's about. Fantastic. Heidi Conway, the Changemaker Mum, thank you so much for your time today with this interview, and can't wait to see things moving ahead in leaps and bounds for you right now. And I can't wait to see the future and to share the journey with you. It's been an absolute pleasure. And there's my cat. Look, my cat is meowing for more food. Can you believe it? Right on time. Perfect timing. See, he's time to wrap up the interview now and feed me. God bless him. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Heidi. All right, we'll see you again soon. Remember to shine bright and light up all those around you. Do you have a quote you'd like to share, Heidi?
The same. Yeah, shine light, but be the change. Be the change you want to see. If you see something that makes you angry, look at the opposite of that and be that. Be the change. Yeah.
Yes, love it. Be the change. Thank you, Gandhi, for that one. Be the change you want to see in the world. Beautiful. And another one I love is, a small group of thoughtful people can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead quote. It's in my email signature, and I just love that. Small group of thoughtful people can change the world. Thank you so much to Heidi Conway. Thank you for watching us. Share the love if you like what you've seen. Pop a like. Let us know what you're grateful for today too. Love to hear in the comments. There, we'll see in the comments, what are you grateful for today? Thanks again for joining us. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you again. Oh, Heidi's coming back to say goodbye. And we will see you again shortly. Heidi, final words from you.
Goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye, God bless.
Thank you.
Sisters, and lots of hugs and love to you from a distance, of course, virtual Zoom hugs. And the big thing to remember is that there's always someone that is there for you, even when you don't think there is. So reach out if you feel like you're stuck with anything at all. Reach out and tap inside, and just trust that everything is in divine order. Thank you, Heidi. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. See you again soon.
Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
for now.
See you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.